and welcome to the Done Creative Live. The lighting is kind of different today. Yes, it's bright, background's all dark. We have wildfires that have rolled into the area and surrounding states, and the smoke is here. So we get that nice orangey light. Let's just turn you around and see if you can see the sun. There it is. It's actually brighter orange than that in person than what it's appearing on screen here. But we get that like orange sun, and the moon is orange at night because of the smoke. It's a whole thing. Yeah, very interesting. But just that happens every year around here, par for the course. And it seems to me the season's starting a little later, which is actually good because it gets cold by like end of September, going into October, late October at the very latest. But hopefully within the month, next 3 weeks or so, these fires will be out. All right. So, hello, Amber. Hello, Sun Goddess. How are you both? Hello. So I think what we're going to do, of course, we're going to do the collective reading at the beginning, and any questions you have or thoughts, you can apply this collective reading toward whatever is on your mind, whatever you're going through currently. We do have, I think, when it's all said and done, close to 6 planets retrograde currently, or almost. Mercury goes retrograde in like 2 days, but it's really this last week has already been feeling like retrograde to me. Energetically speaking, it's been very retrogrady, but like I'm here for the retrogrades. Don't come for me. I have 6 retrograde planets in my own birth chart. So when a lot of stuff goes retrograde, specifically the planets I have retrograde, it's almost like I can breathe and move forward. I know I'm built backwards from everybody else. But where before I just felt stuck and like no amount of motivation would come to me, I'm finally moving forward, which is so funny with Mercury retrograde specifically because I can lose a lot of motivation when Mercury is direct. I don't know what it is, but yeah, Once in Lay Million is here. Oh, Sally's feeling it too. Once in Lay Million says this week has me taking a beating. I'm so sorry you're going through that. Yeah, it's a lot. But I have a little poll here, so feel free to answer the poll question. So far, I'll leave it up for a bit because it says there's 5 people here, but I think there's more than 5 people. It lies to me. Facebook, YouTube is a liar. But it says the poll says, how are you feeling with all the retrograde energy? And we have here option 1, oh my God, help. And option 2, feeling great. And option 3, wait, there are retrogrades? Yeah, so that's what's up. And oh, there was one thing that I forgot to mention last live stream, but maybe I didn't forget. Maybe now is the right time to share this. I had shared when I went to my mom's or I guess it was Friday's live stream. Now I'm doing 2 a week. Look at me go. It's very bright now. I might actually bring this down. Yes, I went live on Friday. Oh my gosh, this is going to be horrible lighting. I apologize. Let's switch to plan B here. Not the birth control, the lighting. The lighting. Oh, now it's very ambient. There we go. I might turn that off and open that back up when the sun gets its ish together. But like I was saying, I did share some snippets of what's going on, like with my mom's garden and stuff in the very tail end of last live stream. But I forgot to share like something so amazing that we actually caught on camera at my grandma's house. My grandma died in November of 2020. So it's been like almost 2 years. I guess it'll be 2 years in November. And her house has been empty, of course, since she left. She lived alone. She was 90 years old. So the house is not completely empty. We did go through a lot of her stuff, but there's still stuff at her house, in her house, that was hers. And my mom was also storing some of her stuff there just because, yeah. So her house, my grandma's house, my brother's got some cameras there because the fact that it is sitting empty, it's a small town, people talk, people know no one's living there. He just wants to, and one of the neighbors is a little shady. So when my grandma was in the hospital actually dying, someone stole her riding lawnmower. So pretty much from the jump of my grandma not being there all the time, someone already was on her property, and we had hints of other stuff being gone through. So my brother put up some cameras, and he recently, I want to say within the last, probably since Christmas time, put a fifth camera or sixth. I don't remember how many cameras, but he put one inside the house in the kitchen. And that night that we went out there, we were just looking around and seeing like what else needs to be gone through, what else needs to be gotten rid of, so that we can try to figure out what's the next step with my grandma's house. And it's like a really dumpy, like double wide trailer, and it's barely livable. Like the roof's leaking, and it's like a 1977 Marlette double wide. So it needs some love. It needs some help. Um, yeah, but we were just kind of assessing the situation, and then my son, youngest son, went and grabbed some games because we were over in the living room, cameras in the kitchen. Grabbed some games, went back in the living room, and then we left. Right as we were leaving, this was probably within minutes of us. We were either in the car getting ready to leave, had just left, somewhere in that time frame. The camera kicked on because they're like motion activated, so they won't film unless something activates them, like a bug flying by or a cat on the porch or something like this. Um, so, and my brother said never has and he's the one kind of in charge of the cameras. He said never ever has the kitchen camera, when no one was there, physically moving. Never ever has that camera activated saying, "Hey, something just triggered this. Something's moving." But we left, and then my brother captured. Well, the camera captured, and my brother, it's there for everybody to see. Let me go. Let me find it. I was looking at the camera app because my mom was saying something about it, and I could not believe my eyes. I'm like, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!" Like that, like over and over, because the biggest orb I've ever seen, like personally, in anything that I know isn't like something online that was doctored or anything. This is directly from the T cam, I think, or the IP cam footage, whatever it's called. I was just like speechless. Well, I was like, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I gotta show you guys." There's no sound. Um, I mean, there is sound, but it's quiet. You can't hear anything. But it's only like 12 seconds long. Um, and I'm gonna pause it. So I'm gonna show you guys where to look before we really get going, so you know what you're looking for and where. Okay, so right here in the top corner of this doorway, an orb is gonna appear and kind of fly down and across. And it's not just like, did I see? You'll see it, you will notice it, and you'll be like, "What the heck was that?" It was not a bug, it was not a piece of dust, it was not a moth, it was an orb. And wow, wow, wow. That's all I can say. But here we go. We're playing. It's going. So it looks like a screenshot, but it's going, I swear. Look at that. I'm gonna play it again. For those in the back that missed it, I'm gonna play it one more time. Okay, here we go. Take that off. Look at that. My grandma came to say hi. I'm still like, whoa. Because like I feel things and see things, but to have actual camera proof of something, it feels like validation for me. I love it. I love it because I could feel her with us. I could feel her as we are kind of looking through stuff, and yeah. But I just want to share that with you guys because, like, Woo Woo Wednesday, hello, yeah, it was huge. I'm still like, wow, and I know, like, beyond a shadow of a doubt, 100% for a fact, at least in my knowing, because my brother can't. He has no like ability to do anything, and plus, it was live camera footage that I could see up to the date of like when I got it. I could see what was going on live and scrub back and see it happen in real time, basically, on the live feed. So I was just like, whoa. No one could have messed with that or created that in any kind of editing app or anything. It was just boom, there it was. And we saved that little clip from the IP cam to my phone, and I was just like, yes. I have major chills when you said grandma. Yeah, yeah. I felt her. I need to show my cousin Tanya that video because I think she would love it. And I haven't yet. Tanya, if you're watching, I know she watches sometimes. If you're watching, I can send you the video. Actually, I will just text her and send it to her. All right, so let's go ahead. I've rambled for 9 minutes and 47 seconds. Let us get into our collective readings. So any questions you may have, thoughts, things you've been going through, or things you're anticipating over the next, I don't know, few weeks or so. Of course, these retrogrades are going to last a while. Not everything is retrograde like the whole time of the retrogrades, but Mercury will go retrograde in 2 days. We're already in that stationary period that feels like Mercury retrograde. So it's almost like we're going to feel a month worth of Mercury retrograde instead of 3 weeks. And Mars is retrograde, Jupiter's retrograde, Saturn's retrograde, Neptune's retrograde. Uranus is about to go retrograde, if I'm not mistaken. And I think Pluto is also retrograde. Yeah, wow, it's a lot. But I actually kind of like it. I like the retrogrades. Don't come for me. When it's just one or two planets retrograde, not great for me. But when we get a lot of planets going retrograde, I'm like, yes, 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 I can thrive. Okay, so let's just see this retrograde stuff. And of course, the full moon is coming up on, I believe it's Saturday. Again, I'm not sure the date. I think it's the 10th. So what's today? Wednesday. So the 8th, the 9th, the 10th. Yeah, I think that would be about Saturday. And this is going to be a full moon in Pisces for Western astrology, and it's going to be taking place in Aquarius for Vedic astrology, I believe. Sometimes they line up where even though they're 23 degrees apart, it's in the same sign. But I know for sure it's going to be a Pisces full moon for Western astrology. I have not looked into it yet in the Vedic, system. So whatever resonates most, that is where it will be for you. And let's just get some guidance on this full moon, these retrogrades, just what's going on in our lives collectively, all of us watching now and on the replay, just anything we need to know. We have the Chariot, which I'm here for it. This is good. There might be a decision coming up, a trip, just ideas, expansion. But at the heart of this card, it is all about, success and victory and, just feeling this sense of empowerment. I'll have to go now. I have a horrible migraine. The headaches have been constant Yeah, we've had a lot of solar flares, a lot of solar activity. Schumann resonance is popping off. Lots of stuff is going on. So big hugs. I hope you feel better soon, Amber. Thanks for joining us. All right, what else do we have? What else do we have? All right, we also have strength. Wow, like that inner strength that we are overcoming things, overcoming those obstacles. And, sometimes we really have to dig down deep to find that inner strength, but it's always there. It's always there. And there's two major arcanas coming out right off the top here. So to me, this is major transformational energy. Maybe there's a major transformational or transitional energy going on the planet with all these solar flares and stuff. And maybe that's why, the migraine is going on for Amber. Thankfully, knock on wood, I haven't had a migraine in a hot minute, and that's been nice. So yeah, let's just see what else is coming up. Woo! All right. So, okay, we have the Page of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. So we're finding new emotional excitement, success, victory with all that other energy we have. But there's also new beginnings, new opportunities, new things. But these are basically the Ace of Pentacles, and we have it in our hand now. We have that little seed to be planted, to see, like, what does this mean? But that doesn't mean that everything is going to happen for us right this second. This is us starting a journey, starting some sort of new beginning. Even if this is something you've already been dealing with, experiencing, going through, you're finding maybe a new way forward with it, or you're shifting the way you talk or communicate or are working on something specific. Maybe you're completely shifting. For me, as an example, this is something that just hit me out of nowhere today, and I'm kind of like, duh, Amanda, why didn't I get this before? I am done with book 1 of my series as far as third draft status for all of it, fourth draft status for half of it plus. And I've realized this for a long time subconsciously, and I kept even consciously being like, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. It's 2 books, and I'm trying to keep it 1. So I realized this book baby that I have had written and been going over and over, with the different drafts since November of 2018. I'm realizing I'm going to have to do yet another draft and break this book in half yet again, which I've had to do. Basically, this is the 3rd time I've had to break this book in half. It's a good problem to have. Now I have extra books I can write in this series, which I kept saying, Spirit, don't give me any more books in the series. But just the content Spirit's already given me is 5 plus books in a series. So maybe you're just realizing there's more on your plate than you realized, or you're having to come about some project in a whole new way, or kind of change or shift your perspective on something that you've already completed or that you're in the process of completing. But it's going to take a lot of effort and hard work. But I'm really feeling this as not something you are like, ugh, like you're begrudging the fact that you have to do this. But it's almost like you're like, okay, whew, this is gonna be a lot of work, but I think I'm here for it. I really think I'm here for it. So, yes, there's kind of mixed emotions, mixed results with how you're feeling currently with whatever's going on or what you're examining of the road ahead, the work ahead that you're putting the effort in. But you're also really excited about, a big part of you, or even some of you, just a small part of you is like, okay, I think this is for the best. Let's do it. Oh, Amber, you had your past life regression yesterday. That's awesome. All right, let's go to the Crow Oracle, or the Urban Crow Oracle, I guess it's called. One more card on just anything else we need to know as a collective. And I'm just letting you guys know as of right now. Okay, so as of right now, we have 3 donations, and all 3 of them are asking me to timestamp. No one is actually here. One of them is on a date, and the other 2 live across the pond from me. So, yeah, we can timestamp that. So anyone who decides to donate right now or in the very, very near future, we will read your reading first. That's what we will do. But the card that popped out here is territory. And what I just heard is unknown territory. With all this major transformational, major arcana energies coming in, we're coming into new territory. And it feels good, but at the same time, it's unknown to us. So there's this feeling of, or this need to feel out what's going on. I want to grab one more. One more. And anomaly. Wow. So this might come out of nowhere or feel like, like almost like a glitch in the matrix. Like, what is happening? There's been a lot of weird glitches in the matrix lately with just even me in my own personal life, where I thought that someone's mom's name was this one thing, and then it turns out it wasn't. And, that could just be me getting it wrong. But, like, I would have probably put my hand down and sworn that this person's name was something different. Or, just that specific landmarks around my town used to be in a different place. Like, it's so weird. I don't know if you guys have been having weird glitches in the matrix, but that's really what I'm getting from this anomaly card here. And with territory, it's almost like I'm reading this like a split from your old life into your new life, or, the old timelines into the new timelines. It's really weird, but cool energy, but it can kind of make us feel a little off kilter or a little off balance because it's so foreign to us, or it's just different from what we're used to experiencing. So very interesting energies here. I think I want to get a couple from the Tea Leaf Oracle before we close out our collective. All right, anything else we need to know? We have here staff. You will be taken care of in difficult times. And that is beautiful. And I think a lot of this is your own past karma, your own past good deeds coming back to reward you when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And you're getting going, and Spirit is going to have your back. And we also have the Weeping Willow with family sorrow. So there might be a lot of just family things coming up for you guys. This could be, stuff that's already going on, or stuff even from the past. I'm really reading this as something you're already aware of. This isn't just out of the blue energy, because think of a weeping willow. It takes a long time to really grow and become that huge tree that we're seeing here. So this is something that's been in the works for a very long time, something that's been brewing or growing in a family that has been kind of tragic or traumatic for some of the family members. This could just look like generational trauma, or, just trying to overcome addiction in family or something like this. Let's get one more. I want to clarify this family sorrow card specifically. Woo. We have fly, a period of ill health, depression, and beware of self-delusion with the dragon. And it's very interesting you put them together, dragonfly, which is a transformation. That's a symbolism of a transformation, much like the butterfly. Wow. But this, to me, with the fly, a period of ill health and depression, this could look like even like past health issues in the family line, or genetically inherited health issues that have been dealt with in the past, and maybe certain other family members are dealing with some health struggles with what's going on. But if this is not something that's already on your radar, I wouldn't worry about it. This is something you already know about. So if this does not resonate with you, you do not have to claim it as your reading. This is someone watching that this is already apparent to you, meaning you already understand, you already know what this is. I think for someone, this is like diabetes. I'm seeing someone else, this might be heart disease that just kind of runs in families. And of course, our lifestyle can really help avert or divert that from actually taking place or taking root within our bodies or, the family, the down the lines bodies. Lifestyle plays a major role, but, if we are on the standard American diet and, living sedentary lifestyles, these things can really take root. But with the dragon, beware of self-delusion. This is really, to me, I'm really seeing this as a reminder for all of us to not beat ourselves up or believe those false narratives about specifically ourselves that go through our heads a lot. We would think, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not that far along in what I want to accomplish or do or be. No one likes me. All these things that go through our heads at different points in our lives. They really are delusions. They are not even true. So this is just us focusing on the good things if we can and being aware of our self-delusion where we're deluding ourselves into thinking things are either better or worse than they really are. This is about examining what is the truth of a situation, whatever that looks like. All right. So that is our collective. Oh, you probably had a glitch. I could have sworn my daughter's doctor's appointment was for tomorrow at 10 a.m., but turns out it was for 2. See, I had another one like that as well with the time difference. Like I could have sworn that appointment was at what was it? I thought it was at 1:40, but actually it was at 2:30. Haha, 2:30, and it was a dentist appointment. 2:30. Sorry, I'm weird. But yeah, I was like, I swore that appointment was at 1:40. Like, what is happening? Yeah, stuff like this. It's like I understand maybe I'm losing it, but like maybe things are shifting and changing and I'm hopping timelines, you're hopping timelines. I don't know what's going on. It's a crazy world out there. And we're just living in it. All right. So I don't see any other donations coming in. So I'm just going to start with the 3 time-stamped readings. And if at any point during our live here today, a donation rolls in, we will just put you priority front and center. We will get right into your reading. Okay, here we go. So put these away, take a quick drink of my water, and we're going to get into Cheyenne's question. I think she was the first one to donate, if I'm not mistaken. And then Vicky, and then Pika Lee would be here, but she is on a date. So yes, this is our current lineup right there. Drink of my water. Go over to my email for the question. Okay. Cheyenne. Hi, Amanda. Could I have a 1-card pull regarding what's ahead of me from next Wednesday, September 14th, please? Okay. What's ahead for Cheyenne from next Wednesday, September 14th? My work contract is now extended until that date only. Okay. Perfect. So what is ahead for Cheyenne regarding, from next Wednesday, September 14th? The work contract is extended until that date only. What is ahead for her from September 14th? Go back to my camera view here. What is ahead for Cheyenne? Okay, so we have the 10 of Pentacles. So there's money coming in. Maybe you're going to be possibly, quite possibly extended yet again, or another career opportunity, job opportunity, money-making opportunity is coming in. And a lot of times when this card comes out, it does indicate a legacy or a long-term, very long-term thing. Maybe this job or this current contract is somehow guiding you toward a long-term thing in some way, or maybe someone you know through the grapevine, something like this. It feels like there's more stability here than maybe it's showing. I know that makes no sense if your contract is ending, but the cards just really don't lie. So let's just get a clarifier on this 10 of Pentacles. Interesting. We have the 7 of Pentacles, which is about patience. And then we have a Hermit card coming out with it. So quite possibly you are leaving when this contract is up, going into kind of a patience period where you're not quite sure of your next steps. But being in hermit mode is what's really gonna set you on your next steps on, your path ahead after the 14th. But with this in here, it just might be that, I don't know, a month, 2 months, 2 years, 5 years, however long down the road, maybe you are working with some of these same people or at the same office, or the situation, it feels tied to whatever your current work contract is down the road or in the future. Or at the very least, it's a possibility or an opportunity for something coming in the future. Let's see. Anything Cheyenne needs to know? Moving forward, the path ahead after September 14th, please, Spirit. We have Caterpillar. Things will not always be this way. A change is coming. So you are changing, you are shifting money or property through inheritance, winning, or a windfall, which, hello, money, inheritance, and windfall. Wow. Wow. So there's money coming into you somehow, some way, after September 14th. And this, to me, because it says money or property through inheritance, winning, or windfall. So this isn't even something you work toward. This is just like extra or icing on the cake or a bonus, or like, wow, look at that new opportunity coming in. Like, that's what this is reading like to me. Very interesting. Very interesting. I want to get one more just because I can't help myself. Anything else Cheyenne needs to know? Moving past September 14th, her path ahead. We have protected. So whatever happens, whatever goes on, however unsure or unsecure you feel, you are protected, you are guided, you are loved, and the next step on your journey will be illuminated for you. Even though the moon is out here, it looks very dark, you can still see what's going on in the immediate vicinity that you need. You don't need to see beyond here, because this is where your attention is. And I think beautifully with this hermit energy, this is a very protective, cocoon-like kind of energy, really focusing on you, your life's goals, your wishes, your dreams, your PhD program and what's ahead for you in that. You do have a lot going on already with, that, and, this work contract ending. You're going to know what's coming in for you. But this money or property through inheritance, winning, or windfall could even look like family members helping you out financially, where you didn't even ask them, and they're just stepping up and saying, hey, let me help, let me pay that bill, let me help you. Like your father's energy coming in, like he's, protecting you or, helping you in some way. Could even be Vicky, I see. But you are protected, you are guided, and yeah, you're gonna work whatever out that feels like an obstacle or a problem. By the end of September, you're gonna know what your next major moves are. I really do see that. I really do. That's awesome. Okay. And I forgot to timestamp that. So I'm gonna have to go back and look and watch this and timestamp it at that point. My apologies, Cheyenne. But really, you have your timestamp hopefully by the time you're watching this, so you won't even know that I didn't timestamp it during the reading. Let me write that down, though. Must timestamp. So Vicky Downey, 2832 for Vicky. Okay. And hope that resonated for you, Cheyenne. Big hugs. You'll figure this out. I know you will. Okay. So Vicky. Hi, Amanda. Hope you are well. I am well. Thank you so much. Can I please ask Spirit for a one-card pull regarding what I can expect for the rest of September since Mercury retrograde is approaching? Yes! Watch the collective reading. We talked about the retrogrades. Thank you. As always, you can, and can you please kindly timestamp? Thank you for the reminder. I will do so, and it is done. I will just have to remind myself to do it in a comment. But let's see, as far as Vicky asking Spirit for a one-card pull regarding what she can expect for the rest of September because of Mercury retrograde's approach. Okay, what can Vicky expect the rest of September, specifically having to do with Mercury retrograde? Oh my gosh, I said watch the collective. This came out as was this the very first? I think it was the very first card in our collective reading. So a lot of your energy was tied up in that collective reading, which is awesome. Wow. And on the back of the deck, we've got some victory here. So this is a success card. you make a decision, and whatever decision you make, you stick with it, and it's going to lead to success. Very random that this should not be over there. This is to a different deck, and my kids get in here sometimes. Yeah, that deck's like over there. My kids get into stuff, and stuff's everywhere. So, Four of Swords, which is about, taking a bit of a break or a respite, doing some self-care, self-love. Very interesting too. We got with Cheyenne's reading, we got some Hermit energy, similar but yet not quite exact with the Four of Swords. Just, self-love, self-care, taking it slow, not pushing yourself to, have all these things going when, it is Mercury retrograde. Along with, it'll be total 6 planets retrograde, I think, once Mercury goes retrograde. So it's a lot. It's intense. But with this victory here, this is about making a decision or coming to some sort of understanding to be able to make a successful decision for yourself. And don't be afraid, you guys. I know they always say, oh, don't make any major life-changing decisions during Mercury retrograde. But like, Mercury's retrograde like 3 times a year. Like, who's got time to wait around? Like, make your choices. If you feel very compelled to make a choice during Mercury retrograde, sometimes after the retrograde's over, we kind of have to go back and analyze that choice we just made. But I find actually a lot of times, especially if it's something I've been figuring or trying to figure out or doing, like say, hey, hello, my writing, I usually find major clarity during a Mercury retrograde. And in this case, if you watch the kind of beginning collective reading and stuff, you'll see that I actually realized that my book that I'm writing, well, it's already a 4-part series with 2 companion novels, but the book that I thought was pretty much done, just need to go through a few more drafts with, is actually 2 books. So like, yeah, more work for me, but like I'm excited and I'm here for it. And it really, this Mercury retrograde that's not even quite retrograde, but it's in that kind of stationary period, has really gotten me to go introspective about, what is the direction I need to take this story, these characters, all these things. So you might be getting a very similar thing with your Mercury retrograde, is kind of some epiphanies or aha moments about things that you thought you had figured out. And now you're second guessing or kind of questioning, like, maybe I need to change that. Maybe I need to shift that. And we came up with this whole thing in our collective reading. So you would really probably resonate with that. Let's get a couple tea leaves as well for Vicky. Woo! Woo! They're flying off the shelves. Okay, wow. We have Unicorn, use your intuition to make beneficial change. And that's exactly what this Mercury retrograde is going to help you do, Vicky, is really tune into your intuition during this rest of September. And I think it turns direct again on like October 2nd. But again, it takes about a week for it to really get that forward momentum going yet again. So yeah, Unicorn, lots of using that intuition to make those beneficial changes. We also have Ant, work, achievement, and success. So yeah, you're putting in the effort and the work, but you're getting that recognition, that success times 2. You got 2 success cards here, and that reward. So there's really 3 victory/success cards right here. That is so powerful, Vicky. So this is actually going to be a really great Mercury retrograde for you. There might, every Mercury retrograde has its moments, but I think September it's gonna be very enlightening month for you. We also have older woman, dealings or relationship with an older woman. I'm really reading this as your mother's energy coming through to really support all these shifts and changes that you are making in your life or want to make in your life, Vicky. So I'd say keep going forward with whatever you have planned or what you decide to do, what you want to do. These epiphanies that come to you, don't think, oh, no, it's Mercury retrograde. Maybe that's not a good idea. If you feel the need to sit on it, anything that's meant for you, it will be divine timing when you bite the bullet, make the decision, make the choice, take the action, all that fun stuff. So follow your heart, Vicky. You got this. Thanks again for your lovely donation. Woo! All right. If you want to be added to the list, we have the donation information right up here. I already did the free collective reading. Once in a while on my live streams, I'll do the free 1-card pull at the beginning. But even if we did that tonight, that time would have already passed. But if you're looking to get a question answered, you can always donate. The thing is linked at the top of the chat here and also in the description below. And all your lovely donations do go to help my mom, whose house burned down in July of 2019. And she's living in a camper to this day, over 3 years later. And we're trying desperately to get her out of that trailer. And that's not like the only reason I do these live streams, but this is where this live stream money goes, is to help her get out of that horrible living situation and get into something more long term. Yeah, can't wait for the book. Really, it's fire too. Hello, Heather. Welcome. Yeah, I can't wait for the book either. I just want to release it tomorrow. Like I'm so excited about it and ready to get it out there, but like at the same time, I know it needs more love and care. And like one of my critique group people said, you've got a lot going on here and there's so many subplots. It's like I can't what I need to do. Basically, he told me just to he didn't tell me I needed to do this, but he's like, there's so much going on. There's so many subplots. But what that told my intuition, my subconscious, and my conscious mind, all three, yes, you can donate, Michelle. We'll get right into your reading. What that told me was basically I'm trying to cram way too much into one book. And it's already, the word count is already so much over what I wanted it to be by like 10,000 words. And I really want to make the books not like these long epic novels, but like shorter. I mean, it's on par with any other young adult book as it is now, but I want it just slightly shorter. And really, there's a lot of meat I can add into these scenes where I felt like, well, I just got to get to the point. I got to rush to the next thing, the next plot point, the next. I'm splitting it. Yes, thank you, Heather. That's what I'm doing. So my 4-book series with 2 companion novels is now 5-book series with 2 companion novels. But who knows? Really, it started out as a duology, which turned into a trilogy. And upon writing the duology, book 1, it then became a trilogy. And then I split it up again. It became the 4-part series. And then today, I made that final decision that, no, I need to split book 1 up yet again. But I'm just so excited about what's in this book and what's going on. And I cannot wait. But now that I have devoted more of my time to writing, it'll hopefully be here by sometime 2023. The first book in the series will hopefully, fingers crossed, everything goes according to plan and I just have the time and the effort and the drive to get this out. It will be out sometime in 2023. Those were my famous last words because I said this book will be out in 2020 and then that never happened. So yeah, and that was what, 2 years ago now? Almost 3 at this point. Yeah, it's a lot. But divine timing, I think, is at play here. That if I had released that book in 2020, it would not be what I know it's going to be now. And it's not like I have to come up with anything extra. This is all stuff I already know and scenes that like I could see happening between certain other scenes that I just like, well, I can't really write that. I can't put that in. And even scenes I cut because I'm like, I just need to keep going. Plot point that I can now put there and expand on. And they still matter and they still mean something and they're still driving the story forward and I don't feel so rushed to get everything out. So yeah, that's my big epiphany of the day is realizing that book 1 is now going to be 2 books. Book 2 was originally all part of book 1 as well. So now book 2 is book 3 and I'm excited though. It's going to take a lot of work to refigure the story structure as far as the theme and the lie and the problem and the climax. And I mean, I know what those plot points are. I already have them, but just nuancing, making the story all lead up to a climax that actually makes sense for book 1 and then book 2 and then book 3. Because the climax, even of now, I'll call book 3, is still kind of pointing and hinting at what's going on in book 1, which is okay. It's a series, but it needs its own, and it does have its own standalone stuff. I don't know. It's a whole convoluted conversation I could have, but we'll save that for another day. Michelle Lynn has donated. Let's get into it. Okay. So I'm actually going to read this over here because the PayPal notification cut off what you were saying. So we're going to read it from email. Here we go. So general for this retrograde, what can I expect? It's been super emotional and tied with the full moon coming up. Also, my birthday is in less than a month and I'm feeling mixed feelings. Just would love some clarity from spirit. Big hugs, Michelle. We're going to get into this for you. So tuning into Michelle's energy. What does she need to know for this retrograde? What can she expect? It's already been super emotional and she's tired with the full moon coming up. And her birthday's in less than a month and she's just having some mixed feelings. What does she need to know? Can we give her some ray of hope or just illuminate something that's going on that we can give her some guidance, please, Spirit? Oh, there's that moderation. There's that balance. This is such a great card to have. This is letting you know you're going to be able to embody more of a balanced approach moving forward and not feeling so all on one end of being emotional or so on one end of just not feeling anything or feeling way overwhelmed to not having anything going on. It's about finding that happy medium or that balance. And I think that's what this retrograde is going to bring you, along with, just time and space to be able to really face whatever you're feeling. Because, if you're having mixed feelings, your birthday's coming up, stuff's going on with your eye, and you're just like totally over it. Like, I totally get it. But yeah, this is all leading up to something. This is about you taking back your own power, feeling more in control and more imbalanced or in balance with your own life, or as kind of the decision maker, the I don't know, the captain of your own ship kind of vibe. That's really what I'm getting. And of course, these are two major arcana energies. So this is going to be a major pivotal month for you to take your power back and just take the steps in life you're guided to take rather than thinking about them and then not doing it or deciding or thinking, well, that'll never happen for me. No, you're bringing it back to center. So maybe even doing some journaling or thinking about where you're at, where you were, and where you want to be, and really doing kind of a life review and kind of maybe even planning for what, not only just what are your big dreams and goals, but like what are some action steps you can take to go in that direction. And especially if it all just feels so out of your own hands, or like you're at the whim of the universe or other people's whatever. This is about bringing your power back to yourself and realizing you have more sway or more input in your own life than you realize. Let's just see what else this Mercury retrograde is bringing for Michelle. And, even leading up to her birthday, what does she need to know? Wow. We have the King of Swords and the Star. Woo! Yes. So 3 major arcana energies. Yeah, this is literally speaking into existence what you want to experience and then allowing yourself to experience it. This is a powerful combination. This is something to do with you saying affirmations, even if it's just in your head, about the direction you're going, and really putting those affirmations in a positive light and kind of almost brainwashing yourself into believing certain things. But I think before this can really happen, a lot of times we do have to face whatever reality is present for us. And, sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. But it's all about finding that balance between where we are, where we want to be, what we feel is standing in our way, and bringing that power back to center and realizing that even if there's a perceived mountain in front of us, we can either climb that mountain or drive around it, or whatever approach that we want to take with what's going on and what's before us, or what seems like such an insurmountable issue or problem. Oh, cool, you've been saying affirmations. Well, this is letting you know it's going to start paying off really big for you by the end of this month, leading into your birthday as well. So if I'm not mistaken, isn't your birthday kind of toward like the mid part of the month? I cannot quite remember. Or the 7th or something like that. 17th? No, I think someone else was the 17th. Yours might have been the 7th. I can't remember the exact day, but for some reason I thought it was not like, October 3rd. Okay. Yeah, okay. I don't know why I thought the 7th or the 17th. Well, I know Jesse's is the 18th, and Pika Lee's, maybe I'm thinking Pika Lee. Yeah, she's got a October birthday as well. All right. What else does Michelle need to know, specifically leading up to her birthday? And, maybe just feeling a little sad, a little blah about just kind of the way things are right now. Let's give Michelle some hope. What message of hope do you have for her overcoming these things? Wow. And it's very interesting because the message of hope, the wish fulfillment, the best path to follow, all that, when I get negative cards in those positions, they actually turn positive. And I'm actually really glad we got this as your message as far as what's going on. Because what's coming and what you're going to be able to do with this wish fulfillment here is you're going to be able to really face these things that are really breaking your heart and, making you feel stuck, or, like this heart ain't able to beat because there's so many rib bone type thingies sticking through it. Like, it's just not the best. But it's almost like you're removing these one by one and really looking at these issues and facing them, saying these affirmations, and also just looking your whatever perceived obstacles or issues, problems that you have in your life in the eye, and saying, okay, what do I need to do to overcome this? Because also with the 5 of Pentacles, this is that that same energy of feeling left out in the cold, feeling like life is passing you by, or there's just a lot that other people are experiencing and you're just feeling very stuck or left out from certain conversations or groups or just life experiences that you want to have. But because this came out in the position it did, it's like you're turning this around. You're changing or shifting your own perspective on what's going on in these different areas of life. Yes, you are. Leading up to your birthday specifically or around your birthday, we've got the 10 of cups. And I think, Mercury goes direct the day before your birthday, Michelle. And it usually takes about a week for it to really start moving and getting that momentum going back in the forward motion. Of course, the planets are never moving backward. It's almost like, when you're driving faster next to someone in a lane and their car appears, if you look out the window, like it's going backwards. But no, you're just moving forward faster than what's going on here. But when the planets are retrograde, they can really help us, internally. It's like we're slowing down to really examine, is this really the life I want, the life I'm living, or the dreams I have? Are they attainable for me? And if not, maybe I need to make some more attainable goals and maybe make that a long term goal and make some more attainable goals that I can have for the short term to really have something that I feel I can work toward and really focus on that. But there's a lot of emotional fulfillment coming up for you. I really do read this is like the energy, like October 10th, moving through kind of the end of the year, really. You're just feeling more emotionally connected to what you're eating, what you're listening to, what you're doing, the conversations you're having. You're just more emotionally invested. And it's almost like a veil has been lifted off your eyes. It's almost like, you're looking through netting. It's kind of obscuring your view. I mean, you can see what's going on, but like it's not as crystal clear as if someone were to lift that veil up from over your face and you can just see normal. It's almost like a veil is being lifted off, just your sense of self-worth, your sense of happiness. And yeah, yeah, I didn't even think of that. Wow. Maybe because they gave me that analogy, there's something lifting literally off your eyes. I didn't even think of that until thank you for letting me know that, because Amanda's little what do they call it? A little slow to the uptake today, a little bit. Wow, I love that. Well, maybe there's a veil being lifted, and just even just asking. Sometimes when we don't understand the reason for certain injuries or ailments, and just asking God, the universe, whoever it is you pray to or talk to, guides, whoever, just saying why do I have to experience this? Can you release this burden from me? Can you literally give it to God? That saying, give it to God. Sometimes we can do that and it will go away, like whatever the issue is, whatever the problem is. But other times we need to figure out the lesson and the reason for these things, and that's always very annoying. And I just I want to know why. Just tell me why and I will work toward overcoming the why. But it's not always easy as that sounds, because half the experience of life is figuring out the how and the why and the what and the where and the who and all the things. I would love if that could resolve for you in October. I would be shouting from the rooftops, hallelujah. Yeah, we have 7 of Cups here, and this is all about just, figuring out, what is it I want? This is endless opportunity, multiple opportunities that maybe opportunities you didn't even know were existing in your reality are presenting themselves between now and even the end of the year. I'm really seeing this reading just kind of wanting to extend out even further past your birthday. But yeah, at least for the Mercury retrograde that basically ends the day before your birthday, this is about maybe having that sense of confusion, like I don't even know what I want. But that's half the beauty of it, is allowing, the possibilities being endless. Yeah, sometimes having too many options is like information overload or it's very overwhelming. But sometimes realizing we have more options or opportunities than we thought can really open up certain things for us. And at the heart of this card, I always say, is a card of hope. It's a message of hope. And especially if you feel like, hope is lost or you don't have very many options or opportunities moving forward, you're going to be flooded with some opportunities coming up. And you're not maybe even going to be a little confused, like, well, which one do I take? What road do I go? Maybe make this plan or that plan. Like, I don't know which one to do. But going back to our collective reading at the beginning, we did talk about during these retrogrades and stuff that in the collective reading we have to come to some sort of decision or choice point. what we choose, we will succeed. There will be success there. So I'm going to get, before we put all these away, actually, I'm going to get one of these. Anything else Michelle needs to know? Mercury retrograde and beyond. Yeah. And this is an isolation card. You might even kind of just be putting yourself in a form of isolation. This to me feels a little more depressing than I would say like just a regular hermit energy, but I really do read this as kind of just your current state. I don't see that this is lasting out the rest of the Mercury retrograde and toward your birthday, but I see that you're facing this. You're facing this feeling of feeling left out, because we were seeing, what were the, wish fulfillment is you overcoming feeling left out or isolated or kind of on your own and, brokenhearted and traumatized from the past. This is you overcoming it, but it might take a little more isolation for you to really feel into it, to know what you need to do to overcome it, which I know is like, patience. Patience, it really is key here. What else does Michelle need to know, please, Spirit? Retrogrades going up through her birthday. We have the owl. Good advice from a wise person. And I really just see this as you listening to your own intuition and your guides, really bringing things through so you can see that crystal clear clarity that you desperately want to be able to make these really beautiful, life-changing decisions. I feel like a little kid sitting alone inside watching everyone else. Yes, that's exactly that Five of Pentacles energy, just feeling left out in the cold. Everyone else, and not just alone, but like watching everyone else have a great time. And that's not a comfortable feeling to be in at all. But let's just see. You're getting good advice about how to overcome this. But let's just see anything else Spirit has. We have funnel, period of frustrations, lessons to be learned. And that's exactly what we were just talking about how, I wish that, you did give it to God. Yes, there might be an element of that, being able to give some of these burdens to God or your guides or whoever. But there are lessons you are learning from all of this. And it's going to be one of those times in your life that, in the future you look back and be like, I'm actually really grateful that I had this kind of isolated period, because it taught me this, it taught me that, and it taught me this. You're going to see the reason or the blessing in this kind of frustrating time in your life. But it might take a minute. It might take a little bit before you can actually see the blessings that are hidden in this seemingly darker time in your life. But it's like I just see like the sun coming out. Like that's the energy I'm feeling for you. And yeah. Oh, you were that kid literally. I'm sorry, Heather. Yeah. I felt like that sometimes, but like at other times, like I was happy just to make up my own little reality and fun and friendships and whatever else. So yeah. And it wasn't that people were leaving me out. It's just that I didn't really feel connected to what they were doing or talking about, or there's just this missing connection. Like the surface stuff was great, but I wanted deeper friend connections. Yeah, ready for that rainbow. We've already got like the violet color of that rainbow coming on through here. Maybe my lighting situation has changed outside. Let me check. But I hope that resonated. I'm ready for that rainbow for you. Yes, I am. Yeah, we're back. Okay, we can turn this one down or off for now. Is it too dark in here though? I don't know. That might help lighten up that background a bit, but who cares, right? I don't know. We're not here for the lighting, although lighting can really help make a video look a little better. I don't know. Okay, so up next we got Pika Lee. I'll take a drink of my water though first. You're so welcome, Michelle. Thanks again for your lovely donation. Okay, so Pika Lee, 54 minutes on the dot. How about that? For Pika Lee, 54 minutes on the dot. Okay, we're going to email to see her question. I know she said she was on a date, which is exciting. Okay, so date night is tonight, tonight is date night. That's how she worded that. I may not be here, but I am still curious about Sag and his intentions. I'm curious about our past lives together. And if there is anything, sorry, eye itches, anything that sticks out that spirit, higher self, source, angels, guides, and ancestors want me to know. Okay, love it. So curious about Sag and his intentions. Tuning into Pika Lee's energy. What is What does she need to know about Sag and his intentions? Any past life energy that's coming through? Anything that sticks out that spirit, higher self, source, angels, guides, and ancestors want her to know? Yes, there is. We got this one and we got this one. And I'm going to go back to my camera view here. We're going to uncover them together. Ready? You're going to see them right as I do. Woo! What do we got? We got the Two of Pentacles and Temperance, which is very funny. Temperance is all about balance, and Two of Pentacles is feeling like if I just make one misstep, I'm going out of balance. So it's about finding balance. Work-life balance, work-play balance. I don't know. There's something about finding more balance in this connection, in this relationship. But he also, it's like he wants this relationship, but doesn't want, to lose that balance with the other people, the other, situations going on in his life, if that makes sense. So he may have in the past went all in on relationships very early, and then he regretted it because it didn't work out, for one. And then for two, his friends and family were like, you neglected us for 3 months while you were dating that one really mean girl. And then this happened and your work suffered. And he wants to find more balance with you and just everything in life with this relationship. He doesn't want this relationship to be the only thing on his radar, which is hard for him because I think he could definitely just be that guy that is just all about the relationship. And it's hard for him to find that balance when he wants someone, like it's like all that's on his mind. But wow, I'm really loving this because this is a long-term, committed, and stable kind of energy. This knight, he's a slow-moving knight with what he's got plans, but he's not like chomping at the bit a lot of times to make everything happen right now. Hello, Ethan. Hello. So I think he's chomping at the bit as far as the relationship goes, but he wants to take things slow, really start with a nice stable foundation as, the basis of this relationship so that there is something for it to grow on. Where I think in the past he was, all in too quickly and then things fell down, fizzled out, whatever it was, that whole out of balance energy. So yes, his intentions toward you specifically. Let's get a card from this deck. Sag's intentions toward Pika Lee, please spirit. And we have here life purpose. So you are a part of his life purpose. Whether you guys are in each other's lives for just a few months or a lifetime, there's something you are really awakening in his heart that is just beyond any other relationship he's had with a loved one, like anyone, a love interest, a loved one, a family member, a friend, a whatever. There's a strong connection, and this really does tie us into some sort of past life for sure. And I'm really wanting to tune into a past life where you guys were a couple. It was a love relationship. So let's tune into that past life for Pika Lee and the Sagittarius. Yeah, wow. So this was a deep love, very soulmate energy. So that, we've already established the whole soulmate thing. But yeah, heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly, discuss your feelings with each other. And they're really showing me, this is very interesting, this past life. It's already starting to unfold in my mind's eye here. You guys were young. You were 12, he was 14, which I guess back in the day that this takes place in, that wasn't that young. They're showing me like a tribe. I want to say this is like modern day Mexico, maybe even like Central America, somewhere in there, which obviously Mexico is in Central America, but they're showing me like tribes, and you, Pika Lee, were the female and he was the male. So the gender roles are the same in this life here as well. But this is that you were promised, your father was someone of authority, not like a chief or anything, but someone of very high regard and authority in your tribe. And you were already promised to someone else, but you had fallen in love with someone who was in your tribe. But you were promised actually to someone from a neighboring tribe to kind of bring peace. And now I'm getting major chills. You were kind of like this promise to bring peace because there was a lot of kidnappings and murders and stealing of food and resources and sabotage between your tribe and this other tribe. And as a treaty, there was going to be an exchange of you to marry this other. And then there was a couple other people who were also in an exchange to marry. And it was actually more benefiting the other tribe as far as their numbers had dwindled. There was some, this is kind of weird and gross, but like incest going on, and they kind of needed to bring some fresh bloodlines into their tribe. Um, and also because you're mixing bloodlines between two tribes, as the generations go on, they're not going to want to attack their own family, their own brethren, right? Um, but you decided instead, no, I'm leaving. I'm running off with this other guy that I have loved since we were children, and made a major problem for the tribe. I laugh because I'm just like, whoa, what has this little 12-year-old girl gotten herself into? Yes, you were 12, which is very young to be married off, but like I guess not as young as some in like England have been married off very young. Um, wow, but this, you guys were found, you ran off, and you did what you could to, back then you lived off the land and could easily find food and hunt and shelter and everything. Um, but you were found because there was a tracker in your tribe that tracked you guys down, and you were given one chance to marry this other tribe, um, you know, other guy in the tribe, and you refused. So, and it's very interesting because they're like, they wanted, it's almost, this is sad, and like, it's like all hitting me at once. Like, what's going on here is there, the plan was, well, we're going to sacrifice you then, as, for our, to basically prove our point and say, hey, you know, we promise we'll kill one of our own to promise that we're not going to retaliate and have any bad blood with you, because she refuses. So we will do the right thing, right thing, and do that. But at the last minute, the boy that you were supposed to marry says, no, it's fine. And of course, not that he has the say because he's basically a pawn in the game, but it really opened the eyes to another guy in the other tribe. And he's like, wow, just you showing that good faith that you would sacrifice one of your own, it lets me know that you probably will keep your word. So you got to live. You did get to end up together in that life. You did end up together, although you guys were, I don't know, shunned is the right word, but you guys weren't held in very high regard because of your, your rebelliousness as young little sprites. But you stuck to your heart's desire and you overcame. And he, you're sad. In this whole scenario that they're showing me, he was held off. He has like one arm with two guys over here and one arm with two guys over here. They were also threatening to take him out because he was interfering with a major treaty that was going on. And but he would have given his life in exchange for you. And even when they're like, okay, we'll sacrifice her, he's like, no, take me, take me. It was a whole thing. It's a very Romeo and Juliet, but you guys semi sort of got your happy ending. As far as like your connection and love together, you got your happy ending. But as far as your happiness with other people including you and things, and not kind of being on the fringe of the tribe now rather than like front and center and everybody adores and loves, but you still had a great connection with Sag in that life. That is very interesting. Wow, what a past life to come through. I don't even know much about like Central American culture. What has gone on with tribes, and I know they used to sacrifice people left and right, but a lot of the stuff I know about it, which is not very much, is how they would take young children and like fatten them up and feed them and then like sacrifice them to like the sun gods, and then they'd take them way up on a mountain and let them freeze. I can't remember the name of the girl. Oh, I have to look it up, but maybe it's relevant why they're showing me that. Maybe it's the same tribe. Let me look it up. I can't remember. She's the something girl. Um, Let me look it up. Inca child. So yeah, frozen Inca mummy goes on display. Yeah, it really does feel to me like, I don't know. It feels not quite like the Inca, but I don't know. Maybe the tribe that you were marrying into was the Inca tribe and you were a different tribe. But let's see. Yeah, but she was very well preserved because she was up in the mountains where it was cold. I know it's kind of disturbing, but avert your eyes if you don't want to see a mummified child. She's on display in like museums and stuff. And her hair is very beautiful. I'm not saying this is you at all. No, I'm not reading that at all. But as far as just the way that they would sacrifice people like it was, nobody's business. Yeah, they definitely live different than we do now, but yeah, I think there's this thread of humanity that has run through the whole time. Very interesting, Peekaboo. You're gonna have to let me know in the comment when you watch this what you thought of that. Man, very interesting. You've been all over the place, Peekaboo, as far as your past lives. You've been in India. You've been, I can't remember anything else right off the top, but yeah, you've been a couple places for sure. All right. Well, that I do believe, I do declare, I think that is the last donation we have. So we're going to leave it there, I guess. I'm going to make sure I remind myself right as I put this up to go find Cheyenne's timestamp, put it up, and then also timestamp Vicky and Pika Lee. We did Michelle Lynn as well, so hers is done, and that's the only other donation I had. So, yeah, that's going to do it tonight. To anyone who sees this, make sure to hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much, Ethan. I appreciate that. Yeah, well, hello, Nellie. How are you? I saw your name earlier. I think I was in the middle of a reading or something, but hi. Wanted to say hi. All right. Well, I guess we'll call it an early night. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys again Wednesday. If you're looking for something to do between now and then, I put a pick a card reading up on Tuesday, so yesterday, that probably less than 1% of my viewers saw. There's still at this point only like 400 and some views on it, which is like bottom of the barrel, lowest of the lowest that I've had probably since 2019. So it's kind of laughable, but me taking that much needed time off to hang out with my kids, it's like, this is what I got to do to bring it back up. And I have another one coming out tomorrow at 8 a.m. Mountain Time on my main channel, first thing linked in the description below, and is going to be talking all about your next chapter in life, what is ahead for you, guidance and wisdom from spirit about your next chapter, and the next steps for you. So yeah, check that out if you feel so inclined. That'll be up tomorrow. So as always, thanks again so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all of the things. And I really, truly do hope to see you right here, back at the Done Creative Live, also on the Done Creative and my writing channel. All of that is linked in the description below. And if you're interested in booking a personal reading with me that is not on a live stream for all to see, you can always email me at amanda@donephotodesign.com. And that is also, or should be, also linked in the description below. All right, you guys, have a blessed rest of your day. Hope you survive these retrogrades and the full moon. I shall see you on Friday, and I think we're really going to dive into these full moon energies that are happening on Monday. So join me for the Friday show to really dive into the full moon, and we will figure out, let me end this poll, actually, I forgot. Let's wrap the poll up. So how are you feeling with all the retrogrades? We have 46% are saying, oh my God, help. 38% are saying feeling great, and 17% are saying, hey, wait, there's retrogrades? Sometimes that's me. I'm like, wait, is there something retrograde? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. All right, so that's going to do it for tonight. I've already done my outro, so I will check you Friday for the full moon reading. And if you cannot attend at 11 a.m. Mountain Time for that, it'll just be on the replay. You can check it out if you feel so inclined. And of course, the pick of cards that are already up and coming out again tomorrow. And yeah, love you. Have a wonderful night. All right, you guys. Bye.